So we begin this edition of the news with our focus on what's been happening in Jammu and Kashmir. Remember, as our forces still go all out on terror, you have the former Jammu and Kashmir Chief Minister, Farooq Abdullah, who says we should be talking to Pakistan. Now, clearly, this is not the first time that he's batting for talks with the rogue state, but the point is why? And what does India achieve by talking to Pakistan? And does this mean that if India does not talk to Pakistan, Pakistan can be allowed to do what it is doing? He also goes on to say that terrorism will not end in the Union territory until India and Pakistan hold a dialogue. To what he is saying could be a lasting solution to all the conflicts.
पहले तो मैं समझता हूँ ये बहुत ज़बरदस्त बहुत बड़ा सदमा है इस ख़ानदान को और हमारे मुल्क को। आज आपने देखा है कि एक कर्नल साहब भी शहीद हो गए हैं, एक मेजर साहब शहीद हो गए हैं और ये जवान डीएसपी ये भी शहीद हो गए हैं। कई हैं जो आज अस्पताल में ज़िंदगी और मौत की लड़ाई लड़ रहे हैं। शक नहीं है कि ये बर्बादी जो है ये बहुत वक्त से चल रही है और इसका मुझे अंत नहीं दिखता है। आज भी देखिए कहीं रजौरी में एनकाउंटर, कहीं और एनकाउंटर रोज़ होते रहे और हुकूमत रोज़ चिल्लाती रहती है कि मिलिटेंसी ख़त्म हो गई। अब बताइए मुझे, क्या मिलिटेंसी ख़त्म हो गई? ये ख़त्म नहीं होगी जब तक कोई रास्ता न ढूंढा जाए जिससे अमन आ सके। लड़ाई से अमन नहीं आता है, बातचीत से अमन आता है। लड़ाई से देख लीजिए आप यूक्रेन का हाल क्या है, तबाह हो गया और कहीं भी कोई रास्ता निकल नहीं रहा है। वहाँ भी रूस को और इनको बात करके मामला हल करना पड़ेगा।
तो अमन के लिए बातचीत किससे करनी होगी?
दोनों मुल्कों में बात करनी होगी और खुद से। मुझसे बात नहीं करने से कोई फ़ायदा नहीं है। बातचीत करनी दो मुल्कों की है जिनमें ये फसाद है और जब से हिंदुस्तान आज़ाद हुआ ये फसाद इनके साथ है। इसका हल निकालना ज़रूरी है।
कर लीजिए। तो आप मानते हैं कि जब तक दोनों देशों के बीच में बातचीत नहीं होगी इस तरह के इंसिडेंट्स होते रहेंगे?
बिल्कुल होंगे, बिल्कुल होंगे। ये बंद नहीं होंगे। हम लोग बेवकूफ़ हैं अगर हम समझते हैं ये बंद होगा। हम जाने खोते जाएंगे। बातचीत के बगैर कोई रास्ता नहीं है। हमें दोनों मुल्कों को वो घमंड छोड़ देना चाहिए और टेबल पे आके बात करनी चाहिए।
So Farooq Abdullah there really believes that there is merit in talking to Pakistan, and he says unless there is a conversation, you cannot stop what's going to be happening. But clearly the government of the day, remember, has taken a staunch position for some time now where they say terror and talks cannot go hand in hand. Let's quickly make way to listen into reactions that have come in from the union government.
अल्लाह जी के समझ से बाहर है। उनके पास 3-4 गो मुँह है। कश्मीर में जाते हैं तो कुछ बोलते हैं, दिल्ली में आते हैं तो कुछ बोलते हैं। उन्हीं के किए गए दुष्परिणाम का फल आज देश भुगत रहा है।
Farooq Abdullah and his dynasty and his family have ruled and governed and misruled Jammu and Kashmir for many, many years. They have been primarily responsible, their politics have been primarily responsible for decades of deprivation, decades of people of Jammu and Kashmir suffering from lack of rights, suffering from lack of economic opportunity, and suffering from the scourge of terrorism. So I think he is the least appropriate person to comment on what is right and wrong for the people of Jammu and Kashmir. Our Prime Minister, our Home Minister have worked very hard to create an atmosphere of peace, security and economic development in Jammu and Kashmir. And it is the right and our, in a sense, the duty of our government and our mission of our government to continue to create opportunities of prosperity and progress for every man, woman and child of Jammu and Kashmir.
Let's get get you more details on the Anantnag operations that are still underway. Sources indicate that the operation possibly has reached an advanced stage. Sources also indicate that the terrorists have been continuously changing their location. Earlier this morning, remember, there was information that firing was reported in the Kokernag forest of Anantnag. The Jammu and Kashmir police has also said earlier that they had encircled two Lashkar-e-Toiba terrorists. And we are at Republic, remember, not putting out any operational details that possibly could jeopardize the entire operation that still continues. But let's get an overview of the entire situation with our colleague Zeenat, who's joining us right now on the broadcast. Zeenat, what is it that you can tell us without compromising, details of the security establishment right now that possibly could be indicative of, again, a Pakistani hand, Zeenat, and what has happened? And a lot of questions being raised whether this was, also an intel failure, considering that these terrorists possibly have crossed the Pir Panjal and this is essentially how they've been moving. Were there any specific alerts on their movements also, Zeenat?
See, Dipti, when we see the encounter that is going on in Garol of Kokernag, Anantnag, this has entered now the second day. There are many intel reports that suggest that the terrorists have managed to sneak in from the Pir Panjal raid. They were earlier in the Rajouri, and then last month's terror strike in the Kulgam was done by the same terrorists. In the morning, we witnessed a tweet coming out from the Jammu and Kashmir police where they not only paid tribute to the fallen soldiers but also mentioned about the terrorists who have been encircled, one local and the foreign terrorists. That's what what we believe. Similarly, in today, we also witnessed the rush of the reinforcement and deployment has been increased, and also the aerial surveillance has been enhanced much more than yesterday. VIP movement was witnessed yesterday, but similarly from Srinagar, I have been picking up from the PCR police control room of Kashmir. Police have been made quite active, and the situation is being monitored by the ADG Kashmir himself as far as the Kokernag encounter goes. Similarly, when we talk about the army is witnessing the entire operation from the 15 Corps headquarters in Badami Bagh, which is we have the army headquarters in Srinagar. We are picking that the wreathing ceremony of this fallen soldiers, that includes the Colonel Manpreet Singh and also the Major Ashish, will take place somewhere around 7:45 p.m. today at Badami Bagh, the 15 Corps headquarters. As of now, no good luck for the security forces who have been in this operation since yesterday, because no terrorists have been neutralized or the body have been recovered. But what was better for the forces today was they were able to retrieve the dead bodies of the colonel as well as the major, and the mountain rescue team of Jammu and Kashmir police did a job in getting the bodies down, and from the Kokernag they were airlifted to Badami Bagh where the embalming is taking place. And we are picking also that Colonel Manpreet Singh's body will reach to his native place tomorrow somewhere around 11 a.m. So forces have the formation has a pressure from its quarters that to neutralize the terrorists who have been trapped in this very hillock. But the challenges for the forces is the terrain is not easy, a tough terrain. That is why it took even yet some time yesterday, some 6 to 7 hours, even to brought down this DYSP of J&K police who also lost his life. Overall, we are seeing the very people are completely tight-lipped when it talks about the security imports or the operational imports. But we heard the gun sound, the explosives were heard. But as of now, no luck when it comes to the neutralization of terrorists, particularly they are the terrorists from the Lashkar-e-Toiba.
All right, Zeenat, I request you to please stay with us. This has been a shattering loss, and like they say, that none of these lives that have been lost must go in vain. And that is the reason why we at Republic also continue to say forces first, no compromise. Zeenat, earlier she has been on the ground. She's filed this report for you just to understand what has happened on the story so far and what do we know of the entire encounter that is still underway. Let's play this report filed by my colleague Zeenat first.
As Kokernag encounter enters second day, we are now seeing the forces are taking the help of para-commandos. The special forces have been called in, and the para-commandos, they have the specialization in various roles, be it of the counter-terrorism, hostage rescue, unconventional warfare, special recce's or counter-insurgency and the direct action. Yes, the para-commandos have been called in to deal the kind of challenges that are there in this Kokernag, this Gadol in encounter. My VJ is showing you the visuals from the ground where we are seeing the 19 RR Jammu and Kashmir police, all part of the operation. They have been kept here on the standby mode in case their requirement is needed. So they too will be rushed to the very spot. We are seeing the more forces being brought in, but the biggest takeaway from this encounter is that this is a very challenging operation because of the tough terrain. It is on the hillock where the terrorists are trapped. Jammu and Kashmir police said that they have encircled 2 terrorists. One of them is a local from this very area, and reports also suggest that a foreign terrorist is also trapped. But as of now, no terrorists have been neutralized, and police as well as the army is trying hard for the exchange of fire. Some gunshots were heard in the area, but as of now, no retaliation has taken place. We are only seeing the men and machinery on ground. Intelligence has been generated by all the forces to find the movement of the terrorists. In fact, the aerial surveillance is being done, and also the dog squad has been involved as far as this Kokernag encounter is concerned. With VJ Mubashir Hussain, I'm Zinat Zishan Fazil for Republic in Kokernag.
So that is our brave hearts making a supreme sacrifice. Let's recall their lives and times. Army Colonel Manpreet Singh is one of the 3 martyrs in the Anantnag encounter. He was 41. He is survived by his wife and 2 children. This is a report from his village in Mohali, and the family also recalls that he spoke to him that day and he said he would call back, but a call that possibly will never happen now.
मेरा कर्नल शहीद हो गया है, मेरा मनप्रीत कर्नल शहीद हो गया, मेरे दिल दा टुकड़ा शहीद हो गया, मेरे दिल दा टुकड़ा शहीद हो गया। संडे नूं मेरी गल होई थी 3 ਵਜੇ ਦੁਪਹਿਰੇ ਨੂੰ ਮੇਰੀ ਗੱਲ ਹੋਈ ਤੀ। ਕਹਿੰਦਾ ਮੈਂ ਸੁੱਤਾ ਪਿਆ ਉੱਠਿਆ ਏ, ਤੁਸੀਂ ਵੀ ਆਰਾਮ ਕਰ ਲਓ ਮੰਮੀ। ਉਹਦੇ ਬੱਚੇ ਵੀ ਆਏ ਵੇ ਤੇ ਉਹ ਵੀ ਗਏ ਸੰਡੇ ਨੂੰ, ਰਾਤ ਰਹਿ ਕੇ ਗਏ। ਕਹਿੰਦੇ ਅਗਲੇ ਮਹੀਨੇ ਛੁੱਟੀ ਆਉਣਾ ਹਫਤੇ ਤੱਕ। ਨਹੀਂ ਹਜੇ ਨਹੀਂ, ਛੁੱਟੀ ਤੇ ਆਉਣਾ ਤਾਂ ਟਰਾਂਸਫਰ ਤਾਂ ਜੂਨ ਤੱਕ ਤੀ, ਮਈ ਜੂਨ ਤੱਕ ਤੀ, ਮਈ ਜੂਨ ਤੱਕ ਰਹਿਣਾ ਤਾਂ ਉੱਧਰ। 4 ਸਾਲ ਹੋ ਗਏ ਤੇ ਉਹਨੂੰ ਸ਼੍ਰੀਨਗਰ 'ਚ 4 ਸਾਲ ਹੋ ਗਏ ਅੱਤਵਾਦੀਆਂ ਨਾਲ ਲੋਹਾ ਲੰਦੇ ਨੂੰ। 8 ਦਿਨ ਸਾਡੀ ਗੱਲ ਨਹੀਂ ਤੀ ਹੁੰਦੀ ਉਹਦੇ ਨਾਲ। ਅਸੀਂ ਫੋਨ ਕਰਨਾ, ਉਹਨੇ ਚੱਕਣਾ ਨਾ, ਅਸੀਂ ਬੰਦ ਕਰ ਦੇਣਾ ਵੀ ਉਹ ਗੱਲ ਨਹੀਂ ਕਰ ਸਕਦਾ। ਫਿਰ ਆਪੇ ਕਰਦਾ ਤਾਂ ਫੋਨ ਵਿਹਲਾ ਹੋ ਕੇ ਕਰਦਾ ਤਾਂ। ਇੰਨਾ ਕੰਮ ਤਾਂ ਮੇਰੇ ਪੁੱਤ ਨੂੰ ਛੁੱਟੀ ਵੀ ਨਹੀਂ ਤਾਂ ਆਉਂਦਾ, ਇੰਨਾ ਕੰਮ ਸੀ। ਕਹਿੰਦਾ ਮੈਂ ਮੰਮੀ ਕਿਹਦੇ ਸਿਰ ਤੇ ਛੱਡ ਕੇ ਆਵਾਂ, ਮੇਰੇ ਸਿਰ ਤੇ ਬਹੁਤ ਕੰਮ ਹੈ। ਮੇਰੇ ਪੁੱਤ ਨੇ ਇੰਨਾ ਉਹਦਾ ਲਿਆ, ਛੋਟੇ 'ਚ ਰਹਿ ਜਾਂਦਾ।
ਤੇ ਮਨਪ੍ਰੀਤ ਦੇ ਨਾਲ ਮੇਰੀ ਬਹੁਤ ਜ਼ਿਆਦਾ ਗੱਲਬਾਤ ਹੁੰਦੀ ਰਹਿੰਦੀ ਸੀ। ਬਹੁਤ ਬਹਾਦਰ ਸੀਗਾ, ਬਹੁਤ ਗਰੀਬ ਪਰਿਵਾਰ 'ਚ ਉੱਠਿਆ, ਬਹੁਤ ਇੱਕ ਬਹਾਦਰ ਮੁੰਡਾ ਸੀਗਾ, ਬਹੁਤ ਜ਼ਿਆਦਾ ਐਕਟਿਵ ਸੀਗਾ ਬਹੁਤ। ਮੈਂ ਵੀ ਆਰਮੀ 'ਚ ਰਿਹਾ ਹੈਗਾ, ਪਰ ਮੈਂ ਇੱਕ ਬਹੁਤ ਇੱਦਾਂ ਦਾ ਆਫੀਸਰ ਨਹੀਂ ਦੇਖਿਆ ਜਿਹੜਾ ਇੰਨਾ ਐਕਟਿਵ ਤਾਂ ਬਹੁਤ ਐਕਟਿਵ ਸੀਗਾ। ਖੁਦ ਲੀਡ ਕਰਦੇ ਸੀਗੇ। ਕਰਨਲ ਹੋ ਕੇ ਦੇਖੋ, ਇੱਕ ਕਰਨਲ ਹੋ ਕੇ ਖੁਦ ਲੀਡ ਕਰ ਰਿਹਾ ਉਹ। ਵੱਡੀ ਗੱਲ ਹੈ ਇਹ, ਵੱਡੀ ਗੱਲ ਹੈ, ਬਹੁਤ ਵੱਡੀ ਗੱਲ ਹੈ। ਬਹੁਤ बहादुर सीगा
भाई। हम इस टाइम इतने बहुत ज़्यादा दुखी।
अभी क्या पता चला है कि बॉडी जो है वो
एज पर दी पेपर रिपोर्ट सी बता रहे हैं कि 4-5 बजे तक मोहाली पहुंच जाएगी।
जो उनका गाँव?
हाँ, मोहाली के पास एक गाँव छोटा सा।
कितने बच्चे हैं?
2 ही बच्चे हैं, एक बेटी है एक बेटा है।